So you just bought FL Studio and you don't know what to do. No problem. I'm going to show you the absolute bare minimum you need to know to get an idea of a song out onto FL Studio. Just like anything else, press File, New. Alright, first things first, we want to start our beat. Duh. So come over here to the left and you're going to see packs. Boom. We have a bunch of drums here for free. These are the stock ones. FL Studio just gives you these. But you could find more by just Googling drum kits free or downloading something like Splice. To add them here, you're going to go to your files, your local disk files, program files, image line, FL Studio, data, patches, packs. And then just create a new one. This one's mine. Get used to that path right there. You're going to be using that a lot. Unless you're like me and you just get really lazy and you just drag and drop it from your downloads. But if you're only going to use that sample once, then you might as well just go ahead and drag and drop it from your download. So if you're a normal person, you're going to make a beat in the channel rack by clicking this button and just, you know, boom, bap, boom, boom, bap. Right, those sounds suck. I'm gonna use some that I found. Sure, that works. Right, this is how most people do it. But if you're a freak like me, then you could do it this way. You're gonna rename any track you want to drums. Make it your favorite color. Like I like the color pink. And then underneath here, you're gonna go group with track above. I don't know. Let's just do 3 for now. Snare here. Let's do a kick. Sure. And let's get myself some hi-hat. Sure, that one works. So you're going to need to know the tools for this. This little magnet button changes where you snap to. So say you wanted to, you know, put the kick somewhere a little closer than where it currently is allowed to, in between here. And you just change the snap. Boom, bam. Now you can place it there. Oh, Jesus. The pen tool there is what lets me draw it in. But let's say I want to go ahead and fill out those hi-hats. I'm going to click it, right? Boom. That lets me copy it. And then use the brush tool. Then I can just, well, like a brush, paint them in. That's awful. I'm going to use the brush tool to grab the edge and stretch it out. And maybe make it a little bigger. So we can do that instead. That's a little better. This still sucks. Okay. Cool. We have a beat. We have a sucky little dinky beat. Let's go ahead and say maybe somewhere I want more hat. But I already dragged that here. I know you can just drag it back, sure. But I want to show you the cut tool because you're going to use this a lot. You could slice it by dragging it, or you can hold shift and just, then with the pen tool, you're going to right click to delete. You'll get this little like arrow thingy. If you double click your right mouse, you'll go ahead and be able to mute it, but it'll still be there. Double click again to unmute, and then let's just copy that there. We got the box cutter tool to cut the little boxes, and then we got the box tool to box a box. We got it. Copy, paste. You've used a program before. Control-C, Control-V. That simple. I know I shouldn't have to explain this to you because you're watching this on YouTube right now, but the space bar is how you press play. Cool. But we're trying to make a song. We need a bass, right? We need chords. We need vocals. So how do we start by adding our bass? We're going to come back to that channel rack. Click this little tab and click all. This little plus button here is going to add new instruments. You got plenty here. These are called VSTs. Write that down, all right? Are you doing homework? We got some expensive paid for VSTs. My favorite go-tos are Serum and Contact. You don't got to know what those are right now. For now, just pick one of the free ones that comes with FL Studio, like, I don't know, Harmless or something. Wait, that's not free. Pick a free one like, I don't know, Harmer. That's also not free. Okay. Let's just go with the one that FL Studio already has loaded. FlexBass there. You see that one? Whoa, freaky knobs and buttons, scary numbers. Don't worry about any of this. Are you a sound engineer? Or are you here to make music? You're probably here to make music, all right? This stuff here is for the nerds. Does a guitarist make their guitar? No. So just find the instrument that sounds like the thing you were already thinking about to begin with and call it a day. Boom, I want an 808. Let's find an 808. Oh, real quick, you could use your keyboard like a keyboard by clicking this picture here of a keyboard attached to a keyboard. All right, right click and click piano roll here, or you could toggle right here. I recommend right-clicking because sometimes the toggle will be on something you might not have intended. Because you could piano roll, I don't know, claps. So be careful about that. We want the 808, not that high. The piano roll has the same tools as the arrangement does. You only really need, you know, your pen, your brush, your cut, your box. You're cut. You're done. You're good. You're hung. Oh no, why can't I hear the bass? I want to make music. That's because you're on song mode. You gotta switch to pattern mode right here. Boom. Now. Alright. Babby's first beat. What are you gonna make? What are you gonna make? I bet you $10. Boom, boom, boom. I know your ass is gonna write some bass like this, alright? We did it. You just made like 90% of the 808 patterns. It is a little slow though, I won't lie. So let's go ahead and bump it up to like 145. All you gotta do, see this 130? That's your tempo. Be careful where you drag, because if I'm hovering over this last zero, look at that. It's going to scale that last zero. All right, now we want to put that in here. So we're gonna go back to the arrangement. These tabs here let you go between your audio clips, your patterns, what we just wrote, and automations. This is the absolute bare minimum, so you don't really need to know what an automation is yet. So let's go to your pattern that you just wrote, click it, highlight it, boom. I know what you're thinking. You know, you want to be like the cool kid. You want to do a little slide to your 808. No problem. Let's get rid of that second one I put there. Double click. It's that simple to go back to the piano roll now. And you see this little ramp here? That's your slide button. Let's go ahead and slide it up an octave to the next D. How the length of this note is going to tell FL Studio how long it takes to slide up to here. So if I want to slide really quickly, I'll do it like that. If I want to do it really slow. All right. Look at that. Look at you go, little goblin creature, you little freak. You're making music all on your own now. That's all it really takes. That wasn't so hard, was it? We're not quite there yet, though. You know, sure. You could call this a song. You could say, I got a bass, I got a drum, I got some more drums to make a drum loop. So I got a song. But maybe you want to add some chords or something. You know, maybe you want to do some like reggae offbeat chords. But you're like, I just opened FL Studio. I don't know how to write a chord. I don't even know what a music is. You don't have to freak out. You can instead just shut up and listen to me. All right. So open up a new pattern. Boom. Open up a new instrument. We're going to use Flex because I know that one isn't a trial version and you probably have it. Boom. Let's find like a pluck. Now I know what I said about nerds earlier and only nerds use we're going to have to use so go ahead and turn off your delay and reverb because we don't need that. Okay. Let's open up the piano roll. Let's say I know that this is on the one that says D4, so my song must be in D. Somehow you know that a reggae little offbeat chord is a minor chord because you like reggae music. That's how you know. I don't, but you don't know the interval between a minor chord, so that's no problem. See this little button here? Click that. Now you have all the chords and all the scales you could ever want, and you don't even have to know what any of them mean. So click the one that says minor. And click the key that you know your bass is already in. Boom, that D4. Now, we have a minor chord. Now all we gotta do is copy and paste that. This piece sucks, dude. Look, bear with me. Alright, this is bare minimum. This is for your good, alright? This is your beat. And because I know you well, I know you're gonna want to put vocals on here. I know you're probably really excited to be a songwriter. This is your hopes and dreams. So let's go ahead and put some lyrics on here finally. Let's make this a song. A real full, complete song. So let's go to the final tab you really need to know about, the mixer. That's this button right here. Boom. We're now in the mixer. Find a channel that's not really being used. Press space and see which ones. All right, currently none of them are being used. So let's just throw it into 6. All right, you can click it, highlight it. Now we're on that. Now we're on insert 6. So you're gonna go over to this little tab here and find your microphone. I don't know what your microphone is named. Mine is named In1 after my uncle, so I'm gonna click that. Oh no! Whoa! So to turn it, so to turn it, so to turn off, to turn off your own voice, all you gotta do is click this. Now you won't hear yourself anymore. Congrats. Whew. All you gotta do is make sure that this recording button is on, and then this recording button is on. When you click it, you're going to get a pop-up. I'm going to tell you right now, I've never clicked anything other than everything at the top. That was probably really confused. I didn't click everything. The button says everything. All right, you only need that one button. So go ahead and also click do not show again. You're never going to need that pop-up, all right? You're welcome. All right, so now you're ready to record. You're going to get a little count in. So let's, I don't really have lyrics, to be honest. I'm just gonna wing it. Poop out a log while sitting on the john. Eating PBJ, I dropped jelly on my dong. Alright, let's give that a listen. Oh no, I can't hear it. Right, we muted it. So let's double click that and drag it into 6, a new mixer track that isn't being used. Poop out a log while sitting. Why is it so offbeat? Oh, this is bad. I don't know how to produce music. Don't freak out. FL Studio likes to play a terrible music producer by tricking the sound waves into sounding bad. It's not you. It's the software. So you're just gonna want to drag this up, boom, and line it up yourself. Now it should sound good. Poop out a. Well, I missed the mark on the first poop because I didn't know what I was gonna say yet, and I thought. So let's go ahead and use our producer knowledge. Let's cut there. And let's drag that back. Poop out a log while sitting on the john. Boom. There we go. We did it. Congratulations. You made a song. You made your first song. This is it. You're officially a musician. This is it. A completed work of art. Poop out a log while sitting on the john. Eating PBJ, I dropped jelly on my dong. Poop out a log while sitting on the john. Yeah, that sounds like ass. So actually you're not done yet. Now we just have to mix it all together just a little better. Now there's 2 ways to send things to the mixer, and you're probably going to want to use both ways. The way I already showed you by dragging this little number when you double click things, this works fine when you're using like audio files here that you can actually drag like this. Boom. Right? Let's put kick in 1, snare in 2, and the hat in 3. But we didn't grab the pluck. What happens when I double click it? It brings me back to the piano roll, okay? So we're gonna have to go to the channel rack, find the pluck here, make sure it's green. See that this little tab here? Click that to where it's green. That's how you know you have it selected. You can also slide this number, but I want to show you another version real quick. Boom, this. Then you're gonna open up the mixer, find which one you want it on. Let's say 5. Right click, channel routing, route to select channel. When you do it this way, it also automatically names and colors it, unlike everything else. So you have your volume tabs here, you know, and then this knob is going to make it stereo versus mono. So this is my vocals. So maybe I want it just a little bit more stereo. Out a log, and maybe I want the plucks here very stereo but lower. Out. There we go. A little bare minimum mixing right there, but you need some bare minimum effects. There's 4 that I think you're probably going to be using the absolute most often. The first 2, definitely going to be using all the damn time. You're going to EQ. All an EQ really is boosting or lowering certain frequencies of a sound wave. So let's play this out a log. That's those little waves there on my voice. I want to cut like some of the lower end maybe. Out a log. All right, there we go. That's an EQ. Very simple. You use this to make your bass bassier, for example. Let's go ahead and put it on the bass and like, boom, raise the lowest end. It goes left to right exactly as you think. You know, I want to raise something lower here. If there's a sound that doesn't sound as low as the lowest, but it's somewhere lower, it's probably gonna be around here or here, you know? Use your ears. You're a producer. Poop out a log. God, I can't take that too. Okay, second thing that you're probably gonna be using a lot is going to be a compressor. Now, this is not a vocal mixing guide because mixing vocals is really hard. You're probably gonna want like another EQ and then a compressor, maybe even a little bit of saturation and a limiter for sure, but none of that right now. You're definitely going to be using a compressor on pretty much everything, all right? You got your normal compressor, right? This is going to take your volume and compress it, as it said. It makes it to where there's not a huge difference in dynamics for certain volumes and frequencies. So, like, let's say that I'm whispering and it's too quiet. Or I'm yelling and it's too loud. That's probably going to be too quiet, and it's probably going to peak if you're not compressed. Like this video isn't compressed. My bad. So the threshold here is just how much you're compressing it. Simple. The ratio is a little bit different. It's kind of like multiplying it, right? So like now I'm compressing it 8 to 1. 8-to-1 watts, I'm not exactly sure, but if you use your ears, you'll hear how much more it's compressing it with the ratio as opposed to the threshold. I dropped jelly on my dong. Look at that. Out a log. Sitting on the John. Look how little I have to go for it to like really compress it. You also have multi-band compressors. This compressor, this is still 2, all right? This is not the third effect. This is just another compressor. It's still a compressor, but it just does the same thing to specific frequencies. I think it's just a little bit more useful, and my favorite compressor is called OTT. This is free, so you don't have an excuse to not have it. If you don't have it already, I'm shaming you. Out a log while sitting on the John. There we go. See, that sounds a little better. I want my, I still bassier, so let's go ahead and throw that OTT on there, right? Out a log while sitting on the See that? Damn! That's some power. Use a compressor. Always use a compressor. Compressors are good. The next thing that you're probably going to be using in everything, I'm going to throw this on my vocals because it'll be most obvious. Reverb, gonna make it sound like I'm in a very wide cave. You hear that? Delay is going to make it sound like I'm in a really long cave. Now, keep in mind, the order in which you have your effects on the effect rack does matter and will affect it differently. So if you have delay then reverb, it's going to sound like you're in a very wide, long cave. But if you have reverb, then delay, it's going to sound like you're in a very long, wide cave. Might have been a bad example because you can't really hear the difference. If I put the compressor after the reverb and the delay, now it sounds like the cave only exists in your mind, and it's an illusion that it's getting quieter. Pretty neat. Now you've got pretty much all the tools you need. You know how to make your chords and your leads. You know how to make a bass. You know how to grab your 808s, where to get them. You know how to get some drums. You know how to record your vocals, and you know how to mix it all with the things that you probably need to mix it. That's pretty much everything. There we go. Now you can go ahead and not just cross off a music maker. Now you can cross off a good music maker. Congratulations on making your first good song. Dude, I left the reverb and delay is too much. It ruined the song. This song's ruined. Whatever. Like and subscribe.